Hi Taurus, this is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I am in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. If you've been here before, I wasn't ready for those. If you've been here before, welcome. If you are new to the channel, welcome. What I normally do is I let flip, fly, or fall anywhere from 5 to 7 tarot cards and then clarify with various oracle decks to see what's going on. So I've got 4 out here. So first thing is the High Priestess in reverse. That makes me think you're not seeing something. And the Death card came up, which usually means that something needs to end, but you're not seeing what needs to end in order to move forward, which is the Princess of Wands, which is in order to move forward, something needs to end. And since the Devil came up, to me, that means it's some sort of obsession, addiction, something like that. And the Four of Swords in, I guess that would be some negative thinking, because if that was, yeah, I guess some negative thinking. There's some negative thinking going on that needs to stop. That's holding you back from moving forward. Let me get 1 or 2 more cards. So let's see, what kind of negative thinking are you having? That actually came up in reverse. So the Ace of Cups, so new beginnings on emotions. All right, well, you know what, 2, 4, 6. Let's stop there and let's go into the emotions, mixed emotions card. So that can help me figure out what exactly is going on. So if you are having a hard time seeing past something that needs to end, let's figure out what needs to end in order to move forward. So the first card is discouraged. So you're discouraged about something. It feels like you okay, so what I'm feeling is you tried something new. You tried something. And what I feel like I'm seeing is like someone like riding the bicycle and you fell over and it was like you threw up your hands and you were like, well, I gave it a shot. And so that obviously wasn't meant for me. So that's what it feels like. Some of this negative thinking is around some feeling sorry for yourself, because it didn't work the first time. Rarely does anything you try the first time work, so let's get over the fact of that. Trusting, okay, so this feels like you maybe let somebody in on a plan. You let somebody in on something and you were full of excitement and you trusted this person, and I feel like you may have gotten betrayed. And that's where some of the discouragement is, kind of like you let yourself open up to a new experience and it backfired on you somehow. And now you're just like, oh, like what I feel like I'm seeing is like you kind of came out of your turtle shell and you're like, I'm going to try something new. And it didn't work out, and so you have gone back in that turtle shell like immediately because it didn't work out, and now you're mad. So let's see what else. All right, respectful. Okay, so what is that? Differential, courteous, admiring. So this feels like that okay. So the feeling is the person that you let in on this was somebody that you respected, somebody that you looked up to, a mentor of some sort. And And they kind of were like, you can do it, you can do it. And you tried it and it didn't work. And now it's like almost like you're mad at them because they steered you in the wrong direction. This one wants to come out sad, in the reverse position. Although that feels like it needs to be in the upright position, because now you're just dejected, very dejected about the whole thing. And ready to give up on whatever you tried. It's like, what did you try that, okay, it made you feel inadequate. So it brought up your self-worth issues. Whatever happened, whatever you tried to do, brought up your self-worth issues. And this came up: regretful, remorseful, sorry, repentant. That also feels like it needs to be in the upright. So now it's just like you're feeling sorry for yourself. This didn't work out. Now I feel stupid and I feel humiliated. And there's just all of these like kind of negative emotions that whatever you tried to do that kind of backfired, really made you doubt yourself. So there's a lot of self-worth issues and stuff that cropped up from trying whatever new you tried. So let's see what your blocks are. Help me figure out, I feel like that one really wants to come out. Help me figure out what the Taurus blocks are that they can work on that will maybe not make them doubt themselves and feel like such a failure. Because that's what I feel like. It's like one little, and the other thing that keep kind of cropping up is the Wright brothers. I feel like I'm watching the Wright brothers and their airplane. And imagine if the Wright brothers had given up the first time they tried flying a plane. Obviously, it didn't do much of anything. They went back to the drawing board several times. So I'm interested to see why you are like so throwing your hands up in a huff and angry that this like first attempt didn't work. Because the feeling I feel like I'm hearing is like, because they think they're better than that. They think that the first time that they tried something, it should have worked. So I don't know why you think you're better than anybody else, because everybody does that, Seldom does the first shot out ever work out. Let's see what your blocks are. So mute. This makes me feel like you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk to your friends about what happened. You don't want advice from anybody about what happened. You don't want to hear anybody tell you, I told you so. You don't even want anybody trying to give you any motivational talks. It's like you have like really closed down from this. And I'm like just super confused about, I'm trying to tap in. I'm super confused about why. So it feels like it's taking me back to a place in childhood. So this brought up something from childhood. Like, okay, let me just keep going. So there's some inner child work that, let's just say this brought up some stuff from childhood. Past life stuff, childhood stuff, wounding, core wound stuff that kind of cropped up that you were not expecting, and it really made you question a lot of your foundation about, you planned and you prepped and you did this and you did all of this stuff to make sure that it was going to work out the first time, and it didn't work out the first time, and now you are just really, really, really hard on yourself. Awakening. I think that this is just saying that Spirit has got bigger plans for you, And they need you to awaken to, okay, so this was some soul lessons that came up. They need you to awaken to other parts of you that need to be healed. And this is one of the reasons this came up, is like, is for you to flourish, you've got to work through some of this stuff. Refocus. So I feel like Spirit is saying, go back to the drawing board. Don't be giving up so easy. You know, I mean, everybody fails. I mean, everybody fails the first time they try something, usually. I mean, so I'm just kind of curious of why you're so hard on yourself. And what I feel like I'm hearing is because I don't try anything very often. And the reason I don't try anything very often is because I'm afraid of this happening. So that's one of the reasons you stay stuck in your little box, is because fear of ridicule, fear of people making fun of you, and worrying what everybody else is thinking about you. That stops you from doing a lot of the stuff that you do. Is like, you're really worried. So you got some ego stuff going on here. You're really worried about what other people think of you. And that holds you back. I want this one. Free will. So I feel like that's saying you have the free will. You mean you have free will to stay stuck in your little comfortable box. I mean, nobody's going to beat you up if that's where you want to go. But you don't learn a lot of lessons when you stay in that place. So soul family, there are family members. I feel like this is more about soul family members, though, not like blood family members. There are people out there that you can turn to that will help you, that will not ridicule you. So I just feel like I need to say, don't give up so easy. It was, I mean, you know, just because it didn't launch the first time out doesn't mean that you just can the whole thing and forget about everything. I don't need any more of these, they said. Okay, so there's no use shuffling these. Although the Purge card did come out, which I think does need to stay. You need to purge out these feelings that cropped up when this first launch failed. Get that out of your system. I feel like that's very, very, very important to do. All right, let's see what else the universe has to say about this failed launch. You had a failed launch. This self-love. This brought up a lot of self-love or lack of self-love. That's one of the reasons why you're like, I stuck my neck out there and I ain't doing that again because that was painful. Just a lot of fear around the whole thing. I'm like, a lot of beating yourself up about this whole situation. Boundaries. I feel like that is saying part of the problem here is that you let people that get in your ear that really should not have been allowed to get into your ear. Because some of the support, you needed support when this happened, and you ended up talking to some of the wrong people, and some of the wrong people who wouldn't try anything new on their own are giving you advice. So don't listen to people that don't have the guts to try their own thing and who are stuck in their own box. Don't listen to them. I mean, if you're taking advice from people that wouldn't get out of their comfort zone for anything, you're definitely listening to the wrong people. So you need to have some boundaries up of who you share your failures with, because you can share your failures with some of the wrong people and they can convince you, yeah, stay safe, play it safe. I played it safe, you know, it's easier not to get hurt. You know, they'll give you all the reasons in the world why it's better to play it safe than it is to to put yourself out and risk ridicule or whatever. So just be careful who you're talking to. Rainbow Dragon. That is the collective conscious in this case. And I feel like that is, it's almost like you tapped into everybody's self-doubt, not just your own. There's a lot of people in the world that have a lot of self-doubt. And it's almost like when this happened, it's like you just soaked in the neighbor's self-doubt and your friend's self-doubt and past family members' self-doubt and people that you don't even know self-doubt. So that's also kind of what played in. The collective conscious self-doubt kind of creeped into this whole thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. It does to me. I understand what... Let's see. Let me get a couple more of these. What else does the universe have to say about this failed launch and how to get back on your feet? Okay, the animal kingdom. Okay, so what I feel like I'm seeing here is, do you think a bear gets spooked easy? No, I do not think a bear gets spooked easy. And I think you need to kind of go in and go, you know what? I am not going to let this spook me. I am going to stick my neck out there again. And the next time I'm going to take what I learned and I'm not going to do it that way. And I'm going to do it this way. And you know, I'm like, I hear myself, my Uncle Dan saying, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get out there and try it again. Whether you're a third grader that got up to bat and struck out and you threw your bat down and said, I am never doing that again. I can't do this, to whether you're a 40-year-old person who decided to go into multi-level marketing. I don't know. I don't care what your failed launch was, but you can't, you're going to be sorry if you don't try it again. Tree of life. So this whole thing is making you question your foundations and your root system. And you need to work on your root system. And the root system would be your self-worth issues, that mental chatter that tells you you're not good enough, the old recordings that you play in your head that you learned when you were a kid. That kind of stuff is the stuff that you have got to get control of, because a whole lot of that creeped in when this failed launch happened. It's a process. Don't beat yourself up. You know, that's all I can say. It's a process. It's not anything that's going to happen overnight. And I feel like you just were sure as shit knew this was just going to take off and fly and be an overnight success. And it was not. And back to the drawing board. That's all I can say. Go back to the drawing board, figure out what went wrong the first time, and try it again. I will see you guys middle of May, and we'll see what has happened with this failed launch from there. Thanks. Bye.